to chapel. How's everybody's Friday going? Does anybody know how many Fridays it's been since school started? I don't know. I was asking you guys. I don't know what the answer is. I thought one of you might. Okay, maybe I should be more prepared next time. We are excited for chapel today. Mrs. Long is going to do Student in the Sonlight. We are going to have a blast in worship. And today, our message is coming from a person very, very special to us. Dr. Wilber is going to do our message today. Can you get excited about that one? So for now, get super loud for me. Not yet, not yet. Not yet, not yet. Hold on. Wait till I say go. Okay, wait for it. Let's go super, nope, totally silent. When I say go, I want you to get super hyped loud. No screeching. Nobody likes screeching. Super loud. Student in the Sonlight for Mrs. Long, go!
Is that because it's my half birthday? I didn't even know I had a half birthday until I came to teach at Troy Christian, and I got a card in my mailbox from our former principal, Mrs. Mextra. Half birthday? Yes. And I'm not ashamed to say my age. Third graders, do you remember how old I told you I was? 53 and a half. But Mackenzie Coltice says I don't look a day under 15. I like the day under part. I'm gonna flip Student in the Sonlight and do 4th through 6th first, because I have somebody that is going to come up and read the names for us. Mr. Zechariah Van Buren, come on up. Zechariah Van Buren. Boy, that was a blast from the past. Come on up. Join him up here if your name's is Eames Circle. Why are you acting all embarrassed now? I'm not. You're coming up here anyways. Miss Ava Lloyd. Hi, Eames.
Lauren Kozat, Parker Major, Kinsey Strozer, Miles Basham, Zechariah Pierce, Robert Bentley Rudy, Brody Arbogast, Emery Sheldon, Haley Humphreys.
Come on down. We got big groups. We got some big groups. All right, Eames, you're kicking this whole thing off today. Oh, did you know they were all going to stand for you like that?
Maybe, kind of.
I saw your mama out there. Wave. Oh, there she is. If you are here to see a student that I recognize, when they're standing, feel free to stand. You get a better view. Then we get to honor you too. Eames demonstrates the character quality of thoroughness. A guitarist will tune their guitar very carefully and deliberately, listening for just the right tone as they tighten the strings on their guitar. Eames listens closely and pays careful attention to the details of the task at hand, being sure anything his name is attached to is completed with excellence. Yes, sir. Give it up for Mr. Eames. So true, so true. Ava, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Ava may be quiet and meek in all the best ways, but the example she sets for others speaks volumes. 1 Timothy 4:12, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. Will you give it up for Miss Ada? Lauren, this sweater is giving very sparkly holiday vibes up here. I like it. Lauren displays R2G2. Respect, responsibility, genuineness and gratitude. Lauren is authentic in how she interacts with the world around her. Will you give it up for Miss Lauren Cozat? Parker. How are you, bud? Good. Parker has shown diligence, persistence, and eagerness this year. When things get difficult, Parker leans in and works hard, completing tasks to the best of his abilities. Will you give it up for Mr. Parker? Good job, bud. Kinsey! Love this sweater. It goes with the face. Love it. You get an acrostic poem. We're going to go through the letters of your first name. Kinsey starts with a K, and that stands for kindness. Gentle and available to others. Imaginative, she is creative. Neighborly, helps out when she can. S, sincere, genuine and honest. E, encouraging, supportive of her classmates. And Y is yearning, desires to grow in her faith. And those are all things we love about you, Kinsey. Will you give it up for Kinsey Strozier? Mr. Miles. I love the name Miles with the last name Long. If I had a little boy and I named him Miles Long. Your name fits it. Your name fits it a lot better. You get an acrostic poem too. I don't know if I've ever heard this for M in one of our Student of the Sonlights, but meritable. You have a kind and godly character worth merit. I, inquisitive, for sure. Desire to learn and use his brilliant mind. L, loving. He loves everyone. E, easygoing. You cannot shake Miles with changes to the schedule. And S, a student who fixes classroom clocks? Yeah. That's awesome. Teachers, take note. Could call down to the office and say, I need Miles to come to my classroom and fix the clock. And you know what? He does so great in all his subjects, he could miss a little class. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Give it up for Miles. Zach. Zach demonstrates the character quality of eagerness. He is eager to help teachers and classmates and his principal, except for today.
Oh, what?
I still think you're eager.
I helped you.
I know. It just felt a little awkward, and you just weren't giving quite the eagerness I thought I was. You're unpredictable, and I like that about you. Sometimes. Or to read transportation announcements. He really thought he was going to get to read transportation announcements, and you still might. Mrs. Long is unpredictable too. He helps set the culture in the class. Is that good?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, same. Give it up for Zechariah. I thought he deserved that a little bit. Robert Bentley, huh? Looking like a full high schooler right now. Once he cut that hair off, I was like, oh yeah. Not even junior high, he's just jumping right to high school. Bentley is the student you can rely on. He is willing to go the extra mile to help someone understand an idea. He goes out of the way to make everyone feel comfortable, and he never gets rattled. Give him a big wave out there. And this is his last student in the Sonlight. Buzz brother. Give it up for Bentley. Mr. Brody Arbo. They said take the hat off, huh? Yeah. They wanted you to rep. Yeah. On Jersey Day during Spirit Week, Brody could be found in the 6th grade classrooms calling out to the masses. Who needs a jersey? I got you.
What does masses mean?
Calling out to, these are your masses. Yeah, calling out to anyone who could hear that was in the crowd, I got a jersey for you. He did not want anyone to be left out. Brody is generous with those around him. be it with the things he has, with his personality, or with his kind words. And that's to students, teachers, or his principal. Will you give it up for Mr. Brody Arbo? How is it? You're in 6th grade. I can't believe it. Emery. You ladies have to be so patient up here. Emery, you get an acrostic poem. Your name starts with an E. Eagerness. Full of energy and determination. M, memorable. That is true. She is entertaining and creative. You have left an impression on us, Emery. She is outgoing. She has a spirit of friendliness that loves to meet others. She is real, genuine and honest. And the why, we got another new word for student in the Sonlight. Yair, it means easily manageable. So excitable, but easy to rein in, which means, Mr. Butson, she knows what? Time and place. Give it up for Miss Emery. Time and place to be funny, silly. All right, Haley, the most patient of them all. Come on down. Love the sparkles, girl. Probably don't have to say this first one because you can tell by the clapping. Haley is well-liked and has a compassionate and humble heart. She is generous and has a wisdom beyond her years with a faith and trust in the Lord that is clear to see. Give it up for this sweet girl. All right, clap these guys back to their seats except for Mr. Pierce. Did you catch that I said your name wrong?
No.
Oh, good. Well, you can watch it back on the tape. Yeah. All right, come on down 1st through 3rd graders if your name is
Jonathan Davey, Arlo Fox, Logan Weekly, Landon Nelson, Mason Allen, Horace Smith, Amelia Kelly, and that's it.
Yep. You can go down now. Yes. Give it up for that guy. All right. Jonathan, you're first, bud. You're first, and it's the first student in the Sonlight that you get to do for your first year here at TC. How do you feel?
Good.
Good. I love the green glasses with the green on your shirt. Looks great. Green's my favorite color. Did you know that? Jonathan has been a wonderful example of respectfulness and obedience inside and outside of the classroom. It is clear that Jonathan brings joy to his classmates and teachers on a daily basis. Will you give it up for Mr. Jonathan Davey? Now you can stand right back here with your friends. Arlo. He is like, yep, front and center. I saw your mom and dad come in too. Do you see them back there? Arlo demonstrates the character quality of joyfulness. That is so true. Every time I see him in the hallway, coming, going, coming into school, getting ready to go to specials, he is smiling. His happiness and joy spread to all of his classmates every day. It is the gift that keeps on giving. Give it up for Mr. Arlo. Are you a little stunned right now? Yeah. Oh, okay. Logan Weekly, come on down. Logan demonstrates the character quality of tender-heartedness. Logan recognizes that there is power in prayer. Woof. Lifting up others in prayer during class. So powerful, and what an example. Thank you, sir. Give it up for Logan. Landon. They were trying to figure out who's next. Landon demonstrates the character qualities of leadership and boldness. Those things go well together. And here's some advice from Mrs. Busher. Give when you don't have to. Care for others. Grow continuously. Live authentically. Empower others. Manage hardship. Serve with humility. That means that she sees that leadership in you and she is ready to build into that for you with your boldness. That's awesome. Give it up for Landon. Mason. It's nice, isn't it? Getting that kind of applause and encouragement. Mason is an easygoing, laid-back dude who has a gigantic caring heart for others. Mason's chill demeanor allows him to see the needs of his classmates without being overwhelmed by the occasional chaos of the classroom. Give it up for Mason. We're glad you're here, buddy. Cora. Oh, these sparkles, I love it. These lights really capture your sparkles. Cora demonstrates the character quality of honor. She is gentle and attentive when listening to others, soaking in what they have to say. Romans 12:10, be devoted to one another in love, honor one another above yourselves. We're so glad you're here, Cora. Would you give it up for her? Did you see your mom and dad? And they said, we love you. Miss Amelia, let's round this group out. Did you know you were a student in the Sonlight? You did? Did you know all week? Okay. Amelia is the perfect display of Proverbs 16:24. Gracious works are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Amelia has a heart for God and others, always looking for ways to help anyone who needs it and being a light to everyone around her. Will you give it up for Miss Amelia? And will you clap these guys back to their seats? Are you up next? Yeah? Are you ready? Are you ready, Dr. Wilber? Do you know, some of you may not know, or have known Dr. Wilber very well. He was the superintendent when I became a teacher, and then one of the most memorable things to me was when I became principal. And I said I wasn't sure, well, first I said I wasn't old enough. And then I said I wasn't sure that I could do it. And I said, I went through and laid out all my faults and sins and shortcomings. And he just looked at me straight in my eyes and said, do you not think we all struggle with those things? And that really meant a lot to me. And I don't know where I could have gone to teach or be a principal where I would have had a superintendent that was so helpful and loving and caring, and appreciate you. Yeah, will you give it up for Dr. Wilber?
Ooh. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Do you guys still use that phrase? Have you heard that phrase before? Okay. When I was your age, that was a phrase that we would use when somebody would tease us or say something mean. And we'd say, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. There's when I was growing up, we never had a TV. We weren't allowed to have a TV. But when I go to friends' homes, they had Saturday morning cartoons. Do you still have Saturday morning cartoons? I'm out of touch. So, yes, we do? Okay. Well, there was two Saturday morning shows that I watched when I went to friends' homes. One of them was called Wilber the Pig, okay? And the other one was Mr. Ed. Now, if you've never heard of Mr. Ed, I think you probably heard Wilber the Pig, but maybe you've never heard of Mr. Ed. But ask your grandparents. Any grandparents in the room remember Mr. Ed? Okay. So Mr. Ed had a talking horse. And that talking horse was named Wilber. And so oftentimes that word for Wilber the pig and Wilber the talking horse would be used with me in teasing. And they would say, Wilbur's got a big nose. Wilbur's got a big nose. And then my response would be, sticks and stones will break the bones, but words will never hurt me. Those were words that came at me when I was your age. This week I asked your teachers to share with me words that they hear you use that are hurtful words. They shared those with me. I'm not going to go through the list, but a lot of those that were on the list are words that I used to use and my friends used to use. And for me, when I was your age, I was always the last to be picked for the baseball team, because we chose when we were kids. I was always the one who would be teased because of the kind of clothes that I had. I was one of those kids who was teased because I wasn't very smart. And even as I grew older, there were things that were said to me that, about me. It's fun, like an example on the baseball, that when they wouldn't choose me, I ended up playing baseball in high school, and I ended up playing baseball in college. And I remember just before we started this school, people said to me, this school will never make it. It'll never be. You know, those hurtful words, and when I use that phrase, that sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words do hurt, and they hurt me. And they still even sometimes do today. What people may say at times about me or at me. And all of us, probably in this room, have experienced hurtful words being said to them or about them. So this morning, or this afternoon, when Mr. Butson asked if I would do the teaching, he said, here's the theme. Love is, and then you fill in the blank. And it didn't take long for me to say, love is kind. Back in the olden days, we used to do this. There was Student in the Sonlight's been going on for years. We didn't call it Student in the Sonlight first when we started our school. Mrs. Ward, are you here? Where's Mrs. Ward? Right back there. Mrs. Ward, stand up. This is Mrs. Ward. Mrs. Ward has been a big part of starting Troy Christian Schools and still is involved with Troy Christian Schools. She's also Parker's grandmother. But Mrs. Ward, when she was principal, started a type of Student in the Light. We called it the Fruits of the Spirit Award. And we do this very same thing that's happening, what you experience. We've been doing this for a long time. Why? Because we believe it's important for us to recognize that every one of our students need to be recognized for positive character qualities in their lives. And one of those character qualities that you study at some time here in K through 6, because we're going way back when I started this school. Remember, just so you know, I started this school, the first year we only had 37 students. Look what God's done. Huh? Pretty powerful, and it's pretty amazing. But we always saw the importance of saying kind things and speaking into students' lives with good, kind words. So this morning, I want to talk about that love is kind. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and this is the Apostle Paul. He wrote this book called Corinthians. In it, we have what they call the love chapter, and it's in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and it's pretty much that whole chapter. But there's a verse in there that says, love is patient, love is kind. And what's interesting with, the importance of this is that we are students and we as adults need to recognize that part of love is kindness and being kind. There's a verse that we use with that character quality that we call kind, and it is that verse that we find in Ephesians chapter 4. It says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ God has forgiven you. But you know what's interesting when you look at this verse is before we are told what we are to do, there's a verse that tells us what we're not to do just before it. And so it's found again in Ephesians, that chapter 4, but this is a few verses before the one I just shared with you, where it says this: do Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. If I am one who wants to follow and be like Jesus, then we listen to what Jesus not only said, but we listen to what Jesus did. So this afternoon, I just want to share with you a couple of things about what kindness looks like and what it means to be kind. Because as I looked at those words that came to me from your teachers, I'm going, we still need to be reminded. And I'm 73 years old, and I still need to be reminded what it means to be kind, particularly with the words that I say. What is kindness? Kindness is more than just being nice. Being kind is doing intentional. Do you understand that word, intentional? It means I'm thinking in my head to do it. Intentional, voluntary acts of kindness. It is an action word. It's not just something I think about or even that I may talk about, but it's something that I do. Second thing, kind is love, and love is kind. It's about being selfless. It means about being caring and compassionate for other people. And it takes practice. It just doesn't happen. One of the things that is such a blessing to me over at the high school, and I'm not as involved as I used to be, obviously, and I'm not over at the elementary as much, but when this is an act of kindness that happens for me. When I am going down the hallway and students are coming down the hallway and they look me in the eyes, and that's important. They look me in the eyes. They don't look down, they don't look to the side, but they look me in the eyes and say either good morning or good afternoon, Dr. Wilber. That's an act of kindness that's demonstrated to myself. That again is one of those things of where I see love being demonstrated to me. And then the third thing about what is kindness, kindness is grace. Remember that verse that I shared with you where it talked about in Ephesians where it says love is kind, love is patient. And again, it doesn't remember faults, that it's forgiving. Kindness is grace. We are humans. We all make mistakes. And we at different times don't respond the way that we should to others. Even when we're teased, we don't respond the way we should to others. But most of all, we don't, again, are ones that we need to be showing grace to those who say things incorrectly and who then apologize for it. So we need to make sure that if we're going to be kind, one of those things that we need to demonstrate is that we are willing to show grace, that we are willing to show kindness there in relationship to forgiving. There's a story that I would like to hear. When I first heard this Wednesday morning, I heard about it Tuesday night. And I heard this act of kindness that took place at our school on Wednesday morning, what had happened with it. It brought me to tears. Matter of fact, I can't tell you about it because it'll bring me to tears. So I've asked JT if he'll come up and share with you something that just happened at the high school that was a true act of kindness by our students here at Troy Christian. JT, would you please share?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. So at our basketball game Tuesday night against Miami East, if you all were there, you know that we were doing this large raffle for an iPad, which was a lot of fun, but know that that came from our students seeing a need within our community, and even those outside of our community. So there's a volleyball player from Miami East who had just been diagnosed with cancer not too terribly long ago, and as you know, that gets very, very expensive. So we held a giant fundraiser at our basketball game to hopefully help out with any costs that might be needed and related to getting any sort of medical procedures done, or just helping supply meals for the family, driving back and forth to hospitals, whatever that looks like. So our girls on the volleyball team just really took the initiative to do something awesome and show what kindness really looks like. And to be honest, for those of you that didn't know, I do coach volleyball over at the high school, and one of the things that we've taken pride in is, yes, we want to be a good team, so I know a lot of you want to be good in athletics, but if Troy Christian is going to be known for one thing, we want it to be kindness. So very proud of our girls. Thank you guys for letting us do that, and thanks for those of you that did donate to it and did stuff with it. Thank you so much for helping out with that. We get to help out a family who is really in need. So
And they raised how much?
we raised just over $8,000 for this family, which has been really, really cool.
You see, so it's action. Kindness is putting, not only giving words, but putting those words into action. And you have the opportunity as a school, as the elementary, to be able to do the same type of thing, acts of kindness for the Bahamas. It will be shortly in the next 4 weeks. We'll be having high school students along with Mrs. Ward and myself and Mr. Butson and Mrs. Butson. We're all going to be going to the Christian school in the Bahamas, and you are collecting money for that at this point in time, and that allows us to buy supplies and to be able to do some projects at their school. That they're a very poor school, and this allows us, again, to demonstrate that act of kindness. Let me give you some tips before I finish. Here's some tips on showing how do we show kindness. Be kind to yourself. Sometimes we're very critical of ourselves and we get down on ourselves. And we need to be kind to ourselves. The second thing that I give you a tip on is practice, practice, practice. It just doesn't happen. You have to keep working at it. To show and demonstrate kindness is something that you need to continually be about and to do. And then the third thing, which is huge for me, be grateful. Not only be grateful with your words, with your mind and with things that you think in your heart, but you use your words to say that you're grateful and demonstrate kindness. Here's a little saying that I saw and found. It is one thing to be taught kindness. It's another thing to be touched by it. Years ago, I was at my church, and the pastor gave a sermon. This was way back a long time ago. And he gave a sermon. And after he's finished with the sermon, which he was talking about throwing stones, not to throw stones, not to use your words wisely. And he gave everybody who was in the congregation at that time a stone, and on it said Jesus. And that stone sits on my desk as a reminder to me that I'm not to throw stones at others with my words, that I need to be kind with my words, just as Jesus himself demonstrated what it means to be kind to others. And as his followers, that's one of the most important things he calls us to do, because he says, how will others know that you are a true follower of mine? Is by the way that you love each other and the way that you love others around you. Love is kind. So one of the things I'm going to do, and on Monday this will take place, and Mrs. Long and I have already talked about this, each of you are going to get a stone, and then each classroom is going to have acrylic paints. And what I'm asking you to do is, when that works in your schedule for next week, that you take that stone, you talk about what the teaching was for today on kindness, and the word kind particularly, and you will write kind on that stone, and you'll place it on your desk as a reminder to watch your words. Because words do hurt. And words can stay with you for a long time. And have I forgiven those who used words against me? Yes. But have I forgotten it? No. It still hurts sometimes when I think about it. And there's some things that even said now that still hurt. And I'm 73 years old, and still the words can hurt. And so my challenge to you and you adults and to me, may we demonstrate love the way Jesus talks about demonstrating that love is kind, and particularly demonstrate it through our words. Jesus, thank you for being an example to all of us. And thank you that we have it written for us to understand, to know more clearly what it means to love. Love is kind. In Jesus' name we thank you. Amen.
Worship.
Let's go.
Woo. All right, all right. All right, everybody do me a favor. Hands straight up. Get a nice big stretch in. We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna do a lot of jumping, so I need to make sure that we're nice and loose. Go ahead and shake it all out. Look at your neighbor and say, hey, it's time to go. Now look at your other neighbor and say, hey, it's time to go. Okay? All right, get them clapping. Here we go. This one thing I'm asking, one thing I'm needing, a moment that's passing is not what I'm seeking. Like it's the air I'm breathing, I want your presence, feet on the earth, heart full of heaven, zeal for you completely consumes me. I can't get enough of you. Your fire burning right through me. I can't get enough of you. Can't get enough of you. Can't get enough of you. All right, sing, I'm after your spirit. I'm after your spirit more than a feeling. And I don't need a reason, Lord, to keep chasing who you are. Like it's the air I'm breathing. I want your presence, feet on the earth, heart full of, here we go, zeal for you, completely consumes me. I can't get enough of you. Your fire burning right through me. I can't get enough of you. Whoa. Sing it out. You can't get enough of you. Whoa. You can't get enough of you. I'm gonna sing Every Beat Is Yours. Here we go. Every beat is yours. You can have it all. Take over like only you can. All I'm reaching for, you and nothing more. Take over like only you can. Every beat is yours. You can have it all. Take over like only you can. All I'm reaching for, you and nothing more. Take over like only you can. Let's go ahead and get down to the ground here. Woo! Yeah, I know we love doing this. All right, I want your best. Here we go. Seal, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Seal for you, completely consumes me. Burning right through me. I can't get enough of you. Sing it out. Yeah. I can't get enough of you. Can't get enough of. Through you, I can do anything. I can do all things. Sing it out. 'Cause it's you gives me strength. Nothing
not gonna live by what I see. I'm not gonna live by what I feel. 'Cause deep down I know that you're here with me. And I know that you can do anything. Sing it out. Through you, I can do anything. I can do all things. 'Cause it's you gives me strength. Nothing is impossible. Through you, blind eyes are open. Strongholds are broken. I am living by faith. Nothing is impossible. Here we go. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Here we go. 1, 2. Nothing is impossible. Here we go. Sing it out. Hey, 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 hey. Sing, I believe. I believe, I believe. I believe, I believe in you. I believe, I believe. I believe, I believe in you. And I believe, I believe. I believe, I believe in you. I believe, I believe. Here we go. I believe, I believe. Here we go again. I believe. I believe, I believe. Tell 'em. I believe in you. I believe, I believe. I believe, I believe. Through you, I can do anything. Wrap it up. I can do all things, 'cause it's you who gives me strength. Nothing is impossible. Let's go. All right, last time, I believe. Here we go. Sing it out. I believe, I believe. I believe, I believe in you. I believe, I believe. I believe, I believe in you. All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for worshiping with us. You guys go ahead and take a seat. Mr. Butson, take it away. Good job, everybody. Let's go. Nice job.
As you're getting back to your seat, as you're getting settled in, we're about to wrap up here. I want you to do me a favor. I know it's getting late on a Friday, so this is hard. My brain at this point on Friday everything starts moving really slow. Pretty soon, we get to about 3:30. Do your bodies do this? My body does the Friday afternoon melt, where it starts in my brain, it just turns to my whole body, it's just like, bleh, right? Maybe who melts onto the couch on a Friday afternoon? Does anybody go straight back to their bed? You're take a nap on Friday. You get in the car, right? Most days you get in the car and you sit down and buckle in, you tell mom and dad about your day, but Fridays you get in the car and you're just like, bleh, right? So before we hit the Friday afternoon melt, I want you to think about something for me, okay? So hands to yourself, just let's be reflective for just a second. What was the last, think about it, what was the last super kind thing that someone did for you? Just think about it, keep it in your head for me. What was the last super kind thing that someone did for you? I want you to think of that thing and just hold on to it for a second. Maybe it was something maybe they did a favor for you, they did something kind for you, maybe they gave you something, or maybe it was just a really kind, encouraging thing that they said. Okay, do me a favor, once you know what that is, I want you to just put your hand like this because you're holding on to that thing. Now I want you to think about that thing. How did that make you feel? And it can't be, your answer is not allowed to be good. Right? I like that Mr. Wilber said, like, kindness is more than being nice. I don't like the word nice. It's too vague, right? I like kind. So I don't want you to say it made me feel good. Get more descriptive than that. I want you in your head. How did that thing make you feel? Keep it in your head, keep it in your head. Shh, shh, shh. So think about what that kind thing did for you, how it made you feel. Well, that means you know when you do kind things for other people, you know how it would make them feel. Right? If they didn't like something that was for lunch that day, and so you shared something with them. Or you could tell they were having a hard day, and so you put your arm around them, and maybe you don't even have to say anything. You were just with them when it's hard. Or you complimented someone on their outfit or their shoes or new haircut, whatever it is. Right? You know how that feels. So, pass that on. Pass on the kindness. Like Mr. Wilber said, his one tip, I liked it. Practice, practice, practice. We practice being kind by passing it on to other people.